Hi, everyone. I just wanted to take a few minutes and kind of describe what you're seeing here on this website. So this website, sometimes called Great River Learning or Webcom, grtep.com, a couple of different names for it, is the platform for the ebook for our class. So the book that you're buying, Psyched, which I wrote, has an ebook version, which is the one that you're using for this class. So if you're here, you've already purchased a book, you've already logged in, just a quick overview of what you can find on this page. So if I scroll down, you kind of get a little bit of a welcome, and then you'll see the video is going to show up right here. I'm making that video right now. And then underneath it is the mandatory orientation quiz. So this is really where you need to start. So if you've looked over the syllabus and you're all ready to go, make sure that you take this quiz here in order to satisfy that requirement to stay in the class. So this is item number 1, which is why I've made it front and center, and you can go ahead and click begin your attempt when you're ready to do that. More on this in a minute. There's a practice test on here if you want to kind of try it out first. I'll show you that here in just a second. But a few different things you can see on this page. There's the welcome, which we are at right now. There's also a chapters tab. Now, sensically here, what you're going to find are all the chapters in the book that you're reading. So you'll see chapters 1 through 16. If you click on chapter 1, for example, it'll take you to the first chapter of the book, and you can just kind of scroll through and read it. The nice thing is there are these little kind of pop-up definitions. So any of the terms that are highlighted are a key term that you can highlight and see the definition for. Lots of images on here. I think it looks very, very nice, which I'm very happy with. But you'll see this is just the text for this chapter. I'm just kind of scrolling through it quickly here. You'll see lots of little boxes, subfields here. There's a couple of different charts. Make sure you're reading all this and looking over these. These are the chapters that you're reading. At the end, you'll see several things like apply it, little boxes throughout of how you can apply this information. There's some pop culture links that you'll see at the end of each chapter. And finally, you'll also see a Psyched with Setmire link where you can watch a video that corresponds to this. Anything in here, I recommend clicking on it, watching it. It'll all help you to understand the material better. And then it ends with a little of application, and that's a chapter. So you can click back to top to go to the top. You'll see that for every chapter, there's chapters 1 through 16, and that's this tab. The additional resources tab are things that you would use if you were taking this class in person. Now, I've made them available to you, but they probably aren't going to be very helpful. So these are all things that are used in my in-ground or on-ground class. There are little key terms or flashcards, which you could use to study. All of the PowerPoints that I use for lecture in class are here. There's some instructions about warm-ups, which don't apply to the online class. The study guide, some handouts, some references. So you might consider looking at these, but you don't have to. They're all additional kind of optional resources, but I have included them here because the key terms in the PowerPoints might be something that are a little bit helpful. You can also click on exams. Under the exams tab, you'll find our 4 class tests. This is where you'll be taking them. So you'll log into this platform, this ebook platform, and you'll see a practice exam. I'll come back to this. You'll see the instructions for exams 1 through 4. All of their access dates have been set, so you won't be able to access them outside of these days, but they're the same days that correspond to the syllabus, so it all will line up very nicely. But let's go back to the practice exam for a moment. You'll notice with each one of these, there's some instructions, and then you can begin your take. Now, I get a retake because I'm the instructor, so I can take it as many times as I need to. But with each one of these, a few things to remember. With this one, you get 15 minutes. You only get 1 attempt, so make sure you're ready, you're organized. You can use your notes and book on every single exam, but if you're looking up each answer, you're definitely going to run out of time. You must save your answers. I'll show you what this looks like in a moment. And you only have the allocated amount of time. This website will stop your test when the time runs out. So make sure that you're watching the clock. And then you'll click I am finished and submit as soon as you're ready. So if we were to click on this just as an example, and then we hope it works, right? It'll give me the clock. So here's my time limit up here. Our course weeks begin on Monday at 12:01 a.m. and then Sunday at 11:59 p.m. So if I select that, I'm going to hit Save Answer. And then you'll notice that this is now gold, right? The fact that that's gold indicates that it's been saved. And now we're on question 2, right? Which is not true about your instructor, that I hate football. I love football, right? So then you'll save this answer. And this is what you'll do for each question, right? So you might try this practice quiz just to make sure. You can skip, like, so I could skip ahead to number 6 if I wanted to. Notice that now that I'm on 6, these ones are not gold, so just to indicate they haven't been finished. And when you're done, you'll click I am finished, submit my grade. Are you sure? I'll go ahead and hit yes. And when you're done, it's going to give you your score, right? So you can see right here that I got a sad 2 out of 10. Pathetic, I know. 2 out of 10. And then it'll show you the questions and the right answers. So that's kind of the format of the exams in general, but I would really recommend that you try that practice test just to get familiar with that format before you begin. And again, that was under the exams link right here. And then there's also a grade book, right? And this is going to be where you can see your scores on the exams. Everything else, other than those few components, is housed in Canvas. So you're only using this Psyched ebook platform for the textbook and the exams. Everything else will be in Canvas, the discussions, my announcements, everything. So all of this is together. That's just kind of a quick overview. Of course, if you have questions, you can always reach out to me by email or even in my online office hours on Twitch or even in my in-person office hours at my office. But these tabs up here are super helpful. If at any point, last thing here, if at any point you need help with the website, all the way at the bottom, it's not letting me scroll down. There we go. There is a link for web support. Now, if you ever have a problem accessing something, something isn't working, this web support is your best friend, right? So definitely be using that if you ever have any questions that aren't something that I can necessarily answer. So I think that is everything. If you have any questions, again, please feel free to reach out to me.